Hey everyone. So yeah, one of the biggest things with this chapter is Ja Rule basically tells all. He's over I think transponder snail. He's divulging the truth of what happened on that day about Harold's death. And not gonna lie, this is one of those scenes where on one hand I appreciate just ripping the band-aid off, and even more to the point, I like Ja Rule's tact in framing it in a way where he doesn't sugarcoat the reality of the situation, yet still uses it as a means to motivate Elbaf to use that primal anger and rage in order to fight, in order to convince everyone to fight back, to give the government a reason to be afraid of giants. With this, like this whole thing feels like Elbaf's equivalent of the scene from Enies Lobby where Luffy declares war on the world government. It's got a little bit of that same energy here as well, but in this case, rather than the Straw Hats, it's the giants basically declaring the world government doesn't control us. We are going to fight back in the name of Harold and in the name of Elbaf, kind of thing. Like, it has that same energy. In saying all that, for as much as I love the idea of Jarl using the truth as a rallying cry, and that we've effectively subverted a lot of the lengthy explanation for when Loki does make it on a scene, part of me is still going to be patiently waiting for that kind of reckoning where both parties need to have a nice long chat of how to move forward, which if it does happen, it will likely happen after everything is resolved, and it's sort of going to be like a resolving plot point that's going to happen at the end of it all. But yeah, I'm still kind of waiting. I'm still waiting for that reckoning, regardless. And but and I would have liked to, and admittedly, I would have liked to see a little bit more of an immediate recognition on the part of the Giants and realizing, oh, we made a mistake. Loki, like that Loki might have killed Harold, but maybe it wasn't. But it wasn't. But the circumstances are completely different. But I get it. The idea of current circumstances not really allowing for them to process, kind of thing. My personal gripes with Jarul's speech aside, though, I do like how this chapter didn't really waste a little much time in jumping us right into the chaos of everything going on, and I do love that this sense of panic that immediately set in with Harudin and the others not really even having time to get their bearings before being into it all. Like, I'd say the only slow section in the chapter was the part in the beginning where we saw Gabon having to give a sort of catch-up explanation to Harudin and his crew, although even that explanation itself does paint a picture that it will require more than just brute strength to save the children. Like, the question of how, though, still remains, because it feels like the government has successfully boxed the giants in, so to speak, so whatever the plan is, it needs to be started now. Also, on a lighter note, I do love the little comedic moment we get with Usopp, where the entire time we've been on Elbaf, he's basically gotten nothing but a cultural whiplash of expectations versus reality. So seeing him fanboy over the Giants finally act like warriors he envisioned in his dreams is pretty fun to watch. And while we're on the topic of Usopp as well, this chapter once again has me asking the question, where and when exactly is Usopp's moment going to be? Like, supposedly according to Oda himself, this arc is meant to be where Usopp has his big defining moment. But we haven't really seen Usopp do all that much. Like, don't get me wrong, he's had moments, but nothing that stands out as a defining turning point for basically the character either. And and at this point, I'm left to believe that Usopp is going to be the key to saving the children. Like, I don't know the specifics, but at this point, it does feel like in some way, shape, or form, Oda is setting Usopp up to make the saving throw, so to speak. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, guys. That's kind of that's just a little slang I picked up, which in itself makes me think Oda's finally, hopefully, going to address the elephant in the room that's been dangling in the air since Dressrosa, and that's Usopp's observation. Like, we need to see, like, whatever defining moment Usopp has, it has to be something to do with the observation he awakened in Dressrosa. Like, we need to see him take full control of that and make it his own. Like, I know there's been like I know there's been a lot of theories out there of all the different ways that Usopp will have his moment, but for me, bare minimum, learning to willfully tap into his observation haki is top priority as far as defining moments for me. Like I want like the thing I want to see from Usopp the most, because that in itself might just be what ends up saving the children. And I do mean that because as far as like as far as if I was to ponder like and theorize about how I can see Usopp's moment playing out, one scenario that does kind of ring out to me is I think we are likely to see the government escape with the kids, but the thing is the chapter really hammers home that point that once the children are on the ship, it's game over. So in a sense, I do believe that is going to happen, but here's the thing. Doing so is where Usopp is going to be able to shine the most. Like, Usopp himself has proven time and again that distance is his greatest weapon. The further something is away, the much more likely he is to hit his mark. He can, like, and if he, so assuming he can master control of his observation haki, then this will be the first true, like, big step forward for basically Usopp's character and his skills as a sniper. At least that's my take on where I think Oda's heading is leading us with this. But it's, again, I don't know for sure. It's just something that kind of popped in my head. Like, oh, this seems like it could potentially be something. Like, I genuinely think that probably it's going to be one of those situations where the government is technically going to escape, but Usopp is going to be the one who ends up saving the day. I think that's very likely how this is all going to play out, honestly. And of course, the chapter ends with Zoro looking like he's about to pull off some heinous shit. Like, whenever that man says he's got a plan, it's time to panic a bit, because nothing good ever comes from Zoro's plans. At least in the sense of them being intentionally helpful. More like he does something that's batshit insane that sort of works itself out by the end, but really it's like, yeah, like whatever Zoro's planning, whatever he's doing, it's not gonna be good. Let's be real about it. And so yeah, I'm preparing for myself for a lot of unintentional chaos to happen next chapter, and yet, funnily enough, that unintentional chaos might be the thing that frees Dory and Braga from his control. Just saying, like, when you think about it, Zoro's kind of chaos, I think, kind of matches Imu's control. So it's like, I think they'll almost weirdly balance each other out in this case. But again, we gotta kind of hold our breath until the next chapter to know for sure. But it's like, yeah, I think it would be fucking hilarious if Zoro actually kind of severed Imu's control with whatever chaos he's about to unleash. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe from my Blue Sky, Analyst Crunchyroll, push the notification bell, subscribe button, and just share it around, guys. Dark Knight, everyone, signing off. Later, everyone.